What's the tea, my reality hotties? Grab your glasses, grab your mugs, grab your Don Perignon. It's time to spill that Reali-Tea, honey. Hello, my reality hotties. Welcome to an all-new episode of Clock the Reali-Tea. This is your host, Mark Midwestern, honey, and you know I bring you that tea fresh from reality every single time, especially from the Bravoverse. And you know we have to dive into it, so I hope you had a great Memorial Day. Hope you caught up on all the Housewives tea, because this episode, we're starting off with the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. There's a lot happening up in the East Coast, honey, so go ahead and get your mug, because there's a lot to dive into, starting off with this trivia night. Take a listen.
Oh my god. She's beauty, she's grace, she's Miss Slam Pig, United States. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm gonna wear that sash with pride. I'm gonna make sure everyone knows that you called me a slam pig. And if she can't take the heat of something that she called me, that's on her.
I'm done with that. Just don't even look at it, please. Don't look at it.
I can't. It's so stupid. She has a sense of humor. You can't say she doesn't.
I have never been in such a pickle. Like, I am in the middle of this and I'm freaking out.
Hi, Rosie. How are you?
Kelsey must have thought that this was gonna be funny.
Thank you for not uninviting me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Do I think that Kelsey can really pull off this jabby joke? No.
This is nice, Rosie. Listen, I learned a new word.
We don't need to talk.
I do. I don't want to talk, believe me.
Then stop.
Slam pig / sugar baby for $100, Alex. And the answer is, who is Kelsey? Who is Kelsey? Does anybody know? Just a bitch, apparently.
Baby, y'all cannot tell me that Kelsey showing up with that sash on that says Slam Pig USA or whatever it says on it was not comical. Rosie was mad as hell. She said, bitch, you're not even going to say a word to me right now. Don't even mention my name. That's what it would give me. Kelsey showed up there to embarrass Miss Rosie, and Rosie's like, nah. I believe Rosie ended up leaving the whole trivia night or whatever. But y'all, let's really get into the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, because these girls are delivering every single episode. And I love that it started off with all the ladies coming together about what happened between Kelsey and Rosie, and that the girls are still not done fighting. Trivia night is happening, and it's happening at Ashley and her husband's cafe or restaurant or bar, whatever. And you can see him being clearly unbothered, working the kitchen, doing the trivia, making sure everybody's having a good time. Ashley trying to do the same, but she cannot get her girls together. She's emotional. Child, she's like, what is going on here? I can't contain these girls. And Miss Rosie and Kelsey got into it again. They got into it, started slinging names, saying, girl, don't talk to me like that. Broom, broom, geek, geek, geek. And all the other girls were just hiding under the table. I need y'all to come from under the table. And if the girls need to work it out, they can step outside the restaurant. Ashley, you should have bucked up and been like, girls, you could take this outside. The slam pick / sash is not going to work for me in my restaurant trying to cause drama with my friend. Because Rosie got up and left. Rosie's like, I'm not going to be sitting here with these bitches. No. And she got up out of there. Now, that's the kind of carrying on I need to see on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I love the storylines. I'm also loving Rich and Rosie. What a hot, beautiful couple. Rich is a cutie. And I'm loving the fact that the girls are also bringing a different kind of energy in terms of like what they're bringing to the show. On the episode, Alicia is continuing to stand out first and foremost. But on this episode in particular, I loved her little presentation that she did with her daughter for like their restaurant things and things that's happening business-wise. And that she had a conversation with Billy about, hey, like, what's going to be in my name? Like, we're not married. I know we're going to, but like, what's the tea? Can I have 5% cut of this idea that my daughter and I just presented to you with their cute outfits? Mind you, Alicia's just that girl to me. She is like the creme de la creme of housewives, and she's making such an imprint. She's my absolute favorite housewife. Probably one of my favorite housewives of all time. But I do appreciate the fact that Billy was like, yeah, you can have 5%. And she was gagged. And honestly, girl, so was I. So he's a good man, Savannah. You might want to keep him. And I want to say this before I show the next clip. Where the hell is Rula? And like I said on the last episode, I'm not feeling it. I see why she was introduced as a friend last season, or this season, excuse me. And I don't know what's going to happen with her next season. I'm assuming that all the ladies will be back as housewives, but she needs to be in more episodes. She needs to play with the girls. She needs to have an opinion. I don't want to hear any more about her and Brian. Like I said, the mug is stamped. Miss Bryant, I don't want to see her mention it at all. But I think Miss Rula has something going on where she's trying to stay with Brian and make it 10 years so that she could have some kind of deal in the separation, honey. Let's clock that. Anyway, let's take a listen because things got heated up in one of the vans on the way to another get together with the Rhode Island girls, and Liz and Alicia got into it. Take a listen.
I mean, bullshit. Instead of trying to dissect what I was saying when I was trying to be emotional, you were dissecting it to make you feel better that you had a point over me to bullshit. Instead of trying to be like dissecting me, you could have just listened to me and been my friend and been like, I'm sorry. But the first thing you went to was, you were homeless? And it's like, oh, here we go.
Well, the country thinks of homeless in a different way.
My father sold my home, so considering that,
I'm sorry that happened.
Oh my God, I don't want you to be sorry. I don't even
that
want you to know, but I wish I never told you because you obviously couldn't wait to dissect it. And thank you, because you showed your real colors. Amen.
How many times am I going to say I'm sorry? Now you're pissing me off. I said I'm sorry 1,200 times. Look, did you ever stop and think like maybe I was not coming from a vicious place when I did it? Maybe your mom wouldn't have appreciated you telling a group of women that you were homeless growing up. She's got a big, beautiful family that would never allow homelessness. You know, me blurting that out was like in effort to protect her family. I don't think they would want her saying it. I'm a fucking good person.
I didn't say
And I'm not, my true colors are beautiful.
No one said that.
No
you're not
one's
a good
gonna
person.
say that to me. Because I would be there for you.
I know you would.
Yes,
Stop. All right? You're going through right now what you're feeling.
all of a sudden, the voice of reason bleeding high. This one behind me, her stance is fake and phony and disingenuous. When I brought it up to her at dinner, she's like, oh, it's nothing. It's so no big deal. She wasn't. And even Gareth said it. But I'm now the bad guy. I haven't been this angry in a really long time.
Ooh, bitch, things are heating up in Rhode Island, and I love the carrying on. Now, this is what I call authentic reality television. So, girl, where do we start? First of all, I'm Team Alicia with this argument. Girl, you can't be sitting up here trying to paint my story. I said I was homeless. What's tea? Unhoused. I don't care how America will look at it. Because technically, when you're being put out of your home, your stable network, your place of shelter, you are homeless. You know, it doesn't matter if you're going to go live with a relative. You have a period of time where you're unhoused, which is what Alicia is talking about, child. So, Liz, you can be mad about it all you want to. Of course, she had somewhere to go. She's not saying that she was out on her luck. She was begging for money. She was holding up signs on the street with her mom. She didn't say anything like that. She said she was homeless because her bitch-ass daddy put her and her mama out. And I think that's very important to get to because sometimes these girls can paint storylines and over-exaggerate. That's what a housewife does. But when you have somebody in a group who's like, girl, please, that's not how it went down. I know your family. That's like trying to make it seem like what I'm saying is just not authentic. And Alicia doesn't play that. So Alicia's letting her know what time it is. You can go toe-to-toe with these other girls, but Liz, please don't play with me. And let's cut to it. Let's really get to it. Because in the back seat was Miss Joellen chiming in saying, girl, please don't put your hand up like that. Like, Liz, calm down. We know you matriarch. She didn't say all this, but this is what she was giving. She was like, girl, put your hand down. Get out of here. Stop getting all here all buck. She's just trying to let you know how she feels. I can relate to Joellen, and we all need a friend like Joellen who's going to step up for us and be like, girl, you need to chill out because she's just expressing herself. Liz isn't having it. Let me let y'all know something. I think Liz understands her role within this friendship group, and I feel like Liz feels like she is matriarch, she is that girl, and she is. And when the other girls try to test her, come for her, put her in her place, she's not feeling it. You know, she's the one with the big house. She's the one who's paid. She's the one with the rich man. A lot of them have rich men, but she's the one who you know, is well off, has her blended family. It's Liz. We watch for Liz. And Liz was letting the girls know, okay, so you can play with me and you can play with me. Let me know what's good. I don't take criticism very well. We saw that between Liz and Kelsey earlier on when Kelsey made a small little snarky comment. Now, I will say this. I'm very much like Liz. I am sensitive. When someone tries to call me out and says, hey, Miss Mark, Miss Western, honey, you said this and this and and this is what I believe. I'm like, I don't care what you got to say. That's what Liz was giving. And I think I also have to take a beat, and I know that Liz, you gotta take a beat too, girl. When the girls are just saying this is what this is their opinion, you're coming in hot, you're trying to read the girls down, you're trying to say, ain't nobody gonna say that I'm this or that, and I'm not somebody you can trust, or blah blah blah, and I'm a lopsided friend. She's like, you're not doing that to me. But I'm kind of liking this because it shows that the ladies can stand on their own. That anybody, if they decide to not be a part of the friend group, they can go. So let's keep this carrying on. Rhode Island, you are that girl. You are one of my favorite shows ever. One of my favorite housewife franchise on the network. And Alicia, you're still my favorite housewife. You're that girl. Ooh, child. Well, speaking of the Real Housewives, I think it's time to switch gears to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because there's a lot happening in the streets of the Peach State, or the Peachtree State, whatever it is, child. And it's a lot to get to, especially when it comes to K. Michelle and what she's stirring up with the cast. And I think a lot of you people want her off the show because she's kind of ruffling some feathers. And as she should. That's her job. Her job is to come in, and we don't have a Kenya Moore anymore, so someone has to play the role. She's getting Drew bothered. She's getting Porsha bothered. And all the other girls have questions too, like Angela. Like, what is going on here? And I am living. This is what the show needs. We need a little bit of shaking up. I don't need any boredom. And I need Delulu and shenanigans. And I need some, you've been sleeping with XYZ and you've done that. Because, girl, let's keep it all the way a buck and keep it all the way real. Have you talked to my ex-man? Do we know each other? Are you enjoying my sloppy seconds? Very that. Take a listen to this.
I want to, like, openly address, everybody and everything at the table. I come in peace. I come in calm. When it comes to the situation,
nobody got to be plotting against me, smiling in my face, because I don't give a
everyone's asking who and what.
In Dallas, when I mentioned Shamia's name, you denounced it, but that's what I thought, so I own that.
But I did have someone tell me that it was Phaedra, Porsha, and you, Drew, that were trying to gather information about me.
I just would have preferred for you to have just simply said, you're not somebody that I want as a friend. Because I'm sure you could see that I was trying to be a friend to you. That was pretty much it.
You
just
have
let
to
you know
understand, my first encounter sitting down was you telling another woman that she slept with somebody at the BET Awards.
BET weekend for the award show. You didn't sleep with a married man?
I did not. Yes, she did. That threw me for a loop. That closed me off, so I started to move and proceed with caution. Then I come out the hospital, and you bust out and say, I stand up, and the whole couch is just wet. A miscarriage?
Okay, K. Michelle, if you
I be hurt?
Because you're
Why
stuck
can't
on
I
not
express?
understanding.
I'm understanding, lady. I'm talking to you, and I'm telling you why it felt like that. I'm breaking it down. I'm being respectful. I'm having a real conversation with you.
Okay.
So after that, we go to Dallas, and then I am told that there is some behind the scenes of trying to find things to expose me.
Are you saying that I'm trying to expose you?
Yes.
In what way?
That is what I'm saying.
About what?
Why would I tell you what you're trying to expose me for, and you know?
That's funny. No, I'm saying, why would I be trying to expose you? That makes
Because you
absolutely
do have
no
a spirit
sense.
of exposure.
No,
Right.
Ma'am, that's the part.
This is why I didn't want to be here. I should go off of my intuition. And I didn't listen.
Okay, so obviously there is 3 things.
And black. It's 4.
Oh my gosh.
Why do you care?
Why do I care? Because you brought this to me.
How would I even know about anything about you and black?
Girl, you know what? You really need to stop saying his name.
Shut up. Tell him to do what the I want.
Stop saying
Keep
his
talking.
name.
You
I'm going
keep
to ask you to
I'm
stop.
gonna ask you to keep my name out your motherfucking mouth.
I don't know you.
I don't know
No,
about
you know a lot about me. You want to run down my resume?
Because you ain't got one, bitch. It was easy.
Bitch, yodel your ass out.
I will yodel all up in your
Obviously, you don't fit in.
Yodel like he. Nobody drew.
Well. Yodel he. Nobody drew. Very that. I don't care what y'all say. Drew, what are you talking about? Don't say his name. Girl, ew. When we were all on the van, you were saying, oh, your friend, black, y'all know each other. Whether or not y'all think it's appropriate or not, I think it's fine. But girl, stop acting like First of all, you brought that nigga around on a phone in front of everybody. The man on the phone at the premiere. This is what I'm not going to do. And I'm Team K Michelle down to the ground. At least she's mixing it up. But Drew, please don't sit here and play games with us like you don't need to be called out about this black situation. Is that your man? Are you dating? Are you a housewife? What's going on in the basement, Drew? What's your storyline? K Michelle is giving you a storyline, baby. Lean into it. And something that the fans don't know, the Drew Sidora defenders, they don't know that it's key to being a reality star to mix it up and give us something like, what is going on? Because that's what we want to see. We want to see new dynamics. We want to see new drama. We want to see new storylines. I don't want to see anything recycled. Okay? Because y'all act like the Drew Sidora is up here as an EGOT and that she just got several Academy Awards. It's not that. It's very Drew is up to her shenanigans that she's been up to. Her confusion, her like, what are you talking about? It's in your mind. No, it's not, Drew. It's not. It's not, baby. And a lot of the fans are saying that, you know, when it comes to the situation with Black and Drew, that K Michelle brought the heat. Fine. I'll give y'all that. But at the end of the day, it's up to you as a woman, Drew, to bring the temperature down and be like, okay, so what's going on? Like, I actually want to be cool with you, and I don't want us to get off on the wrong foot. So if I said something that made you uncomfortable, I apologize. It's very that. And if y'all believe that Drew doesn't owe her that, that's fine too. But K Michelle is new to the group. Okay? When she got off the phone saying hi to her fan, the one that was on the phone, Drew's phone, yes. The hi, how are you? Very that. That's how you treat your fans. And Drew, Black is a fan. Okay? Clearly. So address that with your man and stop giving K Michelle the heat. She's just saying what's going down. The nigga that you brought on the phone to dinner was in my DMs. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? This is reality TV. If you can't take the heat and this is your 5th season, get out the kitchen. Period. I'm Team K when it comes to it. Don't play with me when it comes to her. Now, I still want to get to the nitty gritty because I feel like there's a lot going on in Atlanta. Specifically with Porsha and things that happen behind the scenes. I think Porsha is pretty much made to be this person who is the anchor of the group, but she's not. That's not Porsha. And I need everybody who's been watching Atlanta from the beginning to realize that that's never been Porsha. Porsha's just a co-star. I would say if anyone is the lead of the group would be Angela, maybe Phaedra, although she's not giving much, and Cynthia. Those 3 are the girls that are getting the girls together and, you know, hosting events and trying to mix it up. We know that Kelly and Shamia are not the ringleaders. They're very much the Robin and Giselle of the group. We know that Pinky has come in here and made herself a staple to the show. Pinky is a housewife. Pinky brings storyline. Pinky brings questions from the fans. Pinky is in the blogs. That's somebody who we need on the show. Okay? So all the ladies have made their print. All the ladies. Including Drew, if you want to say that. But Drew is either hit or miss for me. Because she's sitting here playing in K Michelle's face. And trying to act like it's a relevant thing of stop saying his name. Girl, nobody's saying his name. You said his name. You brought Black on the show. And all the fans seem to forget that. In the words of Mary Cosby, there's a whole lot going on. And there is a whole lot going on in these Atlanta streets because Kelly is not playing with Porsha. And I think that's very important to remember as fans watching the show. Pay attention to who is not afraid to speak their mind when it comes to some of the ladies. Because a lot of these ladies like to be in the corner of other women. And, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if you want to be a lapdog, maybe that's just your personality. So I'm going to show 2 clips. I'm going to show the first clip where Kelly decided to get into Porsha's ass. And then there's a sneak peek for the episode that's coming up later this week. So grab your mugs and finish getting this tea because we have to talk about this. Take a listen.
I think what we have established here is that Porsha is every Nigerian in Atlanta.
Everybody. That married ass man. You better get that goddamn drink on my face. You don't sit this
y'all not the one. This y'all ain't the one either, ho. You gonna learn.
You don't put no drink up in my face.
Oh my God.
She married preacher. She mad at me. She that married man on that plane, and you know exactly who he is.
I know.
You know exactly he's your goddamn plane. He's not a stewardess. Now I ain't trying to out nobody's family, but don't sit no bitch. That's close to me.
You can go back. You even said you had a gift, girl. A gift?
And my discernment.
And your discernment was off. Use
I
your
still believe
discernment to help you sell some houses. Use your discernment to tell you about the drama that you've had with other people in this group. Your discernment is very off with me.
How are y'all doing today?
God. What do you recommend?
My favorite is the salmon kebab. It's a really big plate, so I hope y'all came here hungry. You talk about kebabs, and all I'm thinking about is bobbing and weaving them big hands and them big feet under the table.
I'll be back to check on y'all.
Hello, do you not see I'm up against Sasquatch?
First of all, Shameen, you're not that high on the Richter scale for me to be bothered by you.
Well, then
First of all,
stop being bothered.
I'm not. But you know what? You continue to talk about me, and I respond. You said I broke up your friendship.
I'm not breaking up anything with Porsha. I'm not here to talk about Porsha.
We're
I'm
not
here to
talking
talk
about
about
Porsha.
me
I'm
and
talking
you.
about you.
Why do you keep saying that I am stirring things up with K. Michelle?
Did you tell Kay how you and I initially fell out?
No.
didn't
Actually,
tell
I didn't. Y'all said she feels the friendship was lopsided, but these are things that y'all are feeling. And I was taking, when it was taken to Porsha, it was said like, this is how I feel.
Every time she's confronted with how she made someone feel, she evades accountability.
I think it's weird that Angela was able to forgive someone that said she sleep with her husband. I just laughed. And I apologized for it. She was able to forgive the Phaedra fiasco. That was false. And yet, she's still mad at me. What's really going on, sis? I'm about to think you're a little touched.
Whose mind is this you're using? Are you conjuring up Porsha? Are you conjuring up Candy? You don't have a mind. You don't have a mind. I don't have to. I know you're trying to be like Candy.
Angela is one of them girls whose ponytail was this long and would fan out in elementary. And she used to pick on the girls that had hair or that were cute. She was just mad for no damn reason.
You don't have your own identity, baby. You're a lap dog.
You're trying to say
I
that
see that. You're a lap dog in lipstick.
Reality hotties, let's dissect this. So, I think Kelli did what she needed to do. She's not afraid of Porsha, and she called her out. First of all, that makes me think there's some truth to what K. Michelle is saying regarding Porsha and how she moved and how she's not a girl's girl. Because you're not a girl's girl. Everybody's ready to go at you. What's that? So I stick to my point of saying that Portia's not, like, the anchor of the group. I think she's just a kept over. Oh, like, you know, key to the show. But I wouldn't consider Porsha, like, anybody who is, like, the girl who's, like, centered peach. Okay? She could have a peach in the center if she wants to, but she's not center peach. Because if you let Kelli come up in here and play you like that, girl, Phaedra said, listen, let's move on because I think all we really need to get from this is that. And then Kelli went right in and said that Porsha done fucked every Nigerian in Atlanta. What's wrong with that? Because it sounds very familiar to what the girls were saying in previous seasons about Porsha. Now, we all know that Porsha went through this period of time where she was traditionally married to that football player or basketball player, whatever he was. I think it was a football player. And, you know, her whole storyline was very traditional, very conservative, very, you know, at home, does what her man says, don't go to strip clubs, that kind of thing. And then right when Porsha was done with him, Porsha became Porsha, honey. The fame came. She became a fan favorite. She was very out about her experiences. She was very emotional. She got physical with some of the ladies. Porsha was just Porsha and did Porsha. And I feel like that's also makes a great housewife if you're just going to do you. And I feel like that's what Porsha's doing. Now, that doesn't exempt you, Porsha, from being called out by the girls. Because some of the girls also want to be center peach. And they're seeing that you're fumbling the bag. And they're willing to come in there and be like, girl, take a seat. Because I already know what's up with you. And that's what Kelli gave. Because Miss Kelli is not afraid of any of the other girls on the show. Kelly's not even afraid of Candace Dillon Bassett, who had the audacity to call her an imp in regards to who she reminds her of on the show. Because Candace has a podcast now where she bumps them gums, child. And Kelli decided to respond in an interview saying, well, I don't respond to simps. Uh-oh. Kelli is waking it up for me. Kelly's not afraid of these ladies. Kelli has a mouth on her. And I think that's what the Real Housewives of Atlanta needs. We don't need anybody who's just going to be mousy and let people walk all over them. I feel like she's standing apart from Shamia in regards to carrying the girls on and making sure that she can speak to it and get to it, which is what Pinky does as well. So keep the ladies. Now, I want to dive into what's happening next week with Shamia and Angela. And I am Team Angela. Shamia, what are you talking about? Angela was brought into this whole confusion between you and Porsha because of you, sweetie. And not only that, it seems like that Shamia is a little bit jealous that Angela is willing to move on with Porsha, but she can't move on with her. And sometimes it's just oil and water. Maybe she just doesn't like you, Shamia. Maybe she just thinks you're Shamina. Because I believe that Shamia is stirring the pot. I believe that Shamia is trying to hold down her clique because she intended to probably go into this Atlanta new edition, if you will, with being friends with Porsha, because she did play lapdog to Porsha throughout the series of the franchise, right? And I think it's very important to know that I think that Shamea is trying to solidify her stance as a housewife, and these are her friends, and this is the drama, and you play the field, Angela, you do this, you play this team, and you do that. When it's really giving, girl, just be a girl's girl yourself and get to know her. What's with all the energy? What's with all the energy, Shamea? It's a lot of energy. You know, as you like to say, there's a lot going on, like, blah, 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 and people are conniving and plotting on doing this, because I believe that you are one of the girls who are telling K. Michelle what's happening, honey, behind the scenes. So, it's good for a housewife, it's good to be a villain, and it's good to be a pot stirrer, but don't get read down by Angela, because I do think the lapdog with lipstick is trying to find her way, and she's trying to find her way as the lead peach, and that's just not going to happen, baby. Shamea, that ship has sailed. Sorry, love, that's not happening. So, reality hotties, I want to end this episode by talking about things that are in the pipeline in the Bravoverse, but most importantly, getting into more tea. We have Garcelle sitting down with Radio Andy talking about how, you know, some of the housewives came to, or I guess one of the housewives anyway, child, came up to Garcelle and told her about not talking about race on the show. Okay, that's weird. So we'll get into that. Have a clip for you for that. But I also want to talk about the fact that Camille Grammer and Crystal Minkoff are in talks to come back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay, I can get behind that. Take a listen to this.
But going into season 2, a housewife asks you out for a drink. Mm-hmm. And you're thinking, oh, we're going to talk about the season, whatever.
We're going to just, connect.
We're going to connect.
Right.
She asks you, can we keep race out of it? It's an entertaining show. Did you think about walking away then?
I didn't think about walking away then, but I was very taken aback by that because I show up and my race shows up with me.
Yeah.
You know, and if this is truly reality, don't you want to see my reality too?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't wear it like we have to, black power. That's not who I am. But at the same time, you can't negate who I am.
Yes.
And what I bring.
Well, let's go ahead and spill that tea, baby. I'm excited about the news with Crystal Minkoff coming back because I think Crystal brought something to the show that was a bit different and edgy. She was a millennial, she was younger than most of the girls, but she still wouldn't mind going toe-to-toe because she is in the same tax bracket. Now, I will say about this conversation regarding race, when you are a black person on a predominantly white franchise, I think it can work. And we see that working on other shows, but it's just a matter of the role you want to play, what production is telling you to do, and how you are choosing to navigate the dynamic. Now, does race need to come up? Absolutely. I mean, if that's who you are and that's your reality, does it need to be the storyline for all the girls? No. I think Ebony learned that from the RHONI late seasons before we got the reboot. And we were just coming out of a pandemic. It was the George Floyd years. Rest in peace. I know we celebrated his memoriam the other day, the past few days. And let's just keep it going in regards to who might be in the pipeline for making a return. Now, in regards to race, one more thing I'm going to say about that is that if you don't like being a person of color in a predominantly white situation, of course, you don't have to be bothered by all the microaggressions. But let's also talk about the fact that colorism and race does show up across the spectrum of reality TV. And there's not really much we can do about that, given the fact that people come from environments where they do not see a lot of people of color in their neighborhood. So there might be instances where there's a lot of people who don't see a lot of white people in their neighborhood. So we have to be mindful of that when watching the show. I think people are picking up different things from the franchises as they go on, especially when it comes to topics that are a bit more controversial. So let's keep that in mind moving forward, and you know I'm going to bring it to you every single time. Now, in regard to some other rumors in the street regarding Beverly Hills, word on the street is that Camille Grammer has been in talks to come back to the show, along with a specific return from Kyle Richards, of course, because she's the matriarch, if you will, of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and also in regards to Bo's coming back. So there's been a lot of talk online about how Bo's pretty much dropped the ball in terms of aligning with Dorit and not really having too much of a storyline with Kelli and everyone else, but we will see how things pan out. Because I know as we get the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls trip, that might let the fans know whether or not we want to see any more Kyle Richards or if we want to see any more of the ladies. Now, I don't know what that means for the future of the show, but clearly they're one of the highest rated shows, so anyone that comes back into the mix will definitely set off the right track here. So much going on. Let's shift gears a little bit, reality hotties, because there's been a lot of talk from the streets, but most importantly, I'm getting my sources directly from Peacock and Bravo about current Housewives shows that are either recording, have been recorded, things that have been renewed, shows that are on the pipeline. Let's get to it. So, starting off, Bravo has pretty much announced that Below Deck Mediterranean, we have Next Gen NYC, the McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys is what they're calling their third season. And then also shows like The Real Housewives of Orange County is coming back, as well as The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Now, we know with Next Gen NYC, it's going to be coming back this summer, meaning it was recorded last year. And from what I can tell you about that show, is that we're expecting to see Ariana Barron come back, Riley Burris, Ava Dash, Amira from last season, Shy come back, as well as Gia Giudice, Brooks Marks, Georgia McCann, and Hudson McLeroy also making a return, along with Charlie Zakor. Now, let's take another look at what's going on here. So we have all the original cast members coming back except for a few, and we have some more newbies in the mix. So one of the newbies, as mentioned, is going to be Brooke, I believe her name is Brooke Shields' daughter, who's actually going to be making an appearance in the show, which is obviously going to put some more eyes on the show in general. We also have the Ultimate Girls Trip, as mentioned earlier, called the Roaring 20th, bringing all of these ladies from franchises together, but most importantly, ladies that have actually made an imprint on their franchise. So for those of you who have forgot, Vicky Gunvalson from OC is back. We have Luann from New York City, Porsha Williams from Atlanta, Teresa Giudice from New Jersey, Kyle Richards from Beverly Hills, as mentioned earlier, Giselle Bryan-Chow from Potomac, and don't forget Lisa Barlow from Salt Lake City. So y'all hoes better be set and ready. Now, what to expect from Bravo Fan Fest is going to be in Charleston this year. So, haven't heard anything about BravoCon, so that might be returning in 2027. And for those of you that watch Summer House, which I just binged, and I'm currently ready to watch the reunion, which I'm super excited about, I'm also going to check out this show called In the City, which just premiered as a spinoff from Summer House, and they're currently on their first season. And this is a brand new show on the network. The cast of In the City pretty much has a lot of people from that show from Summer House, but I can give you some names. So Lindsay Hubbard, Kyle Cook, Amanda, Danielle, we have Ay-Hee and Andrea Denver, as well as Lexi, Nick, and a few other new names on the show. And from what I'm seeing, I think I'm seeing some other faces that I've seen before. So Whitney Francois is on the show, as well as, let's see. Yeah, as well as Andrea Denver, who I mentioned earlier, but he is so fine. I don't know if y'all have seen him on Summer House, but whew, makes me want to be in the city, chat. I'm so happy about all the shows in their pipeline, so stay tuned, and you know I will be diving into all of these shows and bringing it to you on the pod, honey, on the pod. And if you get your tea from Clock the Reali-Tea, you know exactly where to get the rest of your tea. Thank you for listening to another episode of Clock the Reali-Tea. This is your host, Mark Midwester, honey. Come back soon, baby. We have a lot of tea to spill with all the shows coming up. Bye.